VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. Possibly the most used function in all of Microsoft Excel is VLOOKUP, and I'm going to describe how to use it in this lesson. VLOOKUP searches for a reference value in one column and returns the corresponding entry from another column chosen by the user. At its simplest, you might have a list of payroll numbers with names next to them, and you could use VLOOKUP to look for any payroll number and return the person's name. The structure of the function is lookup value, array to search, column number to return data from. One thing to bear in mind is that the item you're looking up must be in the first column of the array that it's searching. In the spreadsheet we have a 4-column table from A6 to D15. Column A gives the name of the 10 largest cities in Europe. Column B gives the country that the city is in. Column C gives the population of the city. And column D gives the current estimated population of the country. Note that the population given for Ukraine excludes the disputed region of Crimea. We know that Kiev is one of the largest cities in Europe, and we want to know what country it's in. Our formula would be equals VLOOKUP, open brackets, open speech marks, Kiev, close speech marks, and it's spelled as it's spelled in the table there, comma A6 colon D15, comma 2, comma false, close bracket. The formula is searching for the word Kiev in the first column of the data in the cells in the range A6 to D15, and it's returning the item in column 2 in the same row. The false at the end tells it to get an exact match. If we want to know the population of Kiev, we amend the formula to return the data in column 3 for the corresponding row. So it becomes equals VLOOKUP, open brackets, open speech marks, Kiev, close speech marks, comma, A6 colon D15, comma, 3, comma, false, close brackets. There, nearly 3 million people. One weakness of VLOOKUP is that the item you're searching for has to be in the first column. That may mean that you have to rearrange your table of data, and it can create problems. The new XLOOKUP function recently released for Excel in Office 365 is much more flexible and can search any column and return the corresponding item from any other column. For the search that we just did to find the country that Kiev is in, the formula is equals XLOOKUP, open brackets, open speech marks, Kiev, close speech marks, comma, A6 colon A15, comma, B6 colon B15 close brackets. It's searching cells A6 to A15 for Kiev and returning the corresponding item from the range B6 to B15. This is easier to structure than VLOOKUP and more flexible. The formula is unaffected if we insert or delete columns, and the item that we're searching for doesn't have to be in the first column. It can be in any column, meaning that we don't have to re-engineer our table to suit the function. XLOOKUP also gives an exact match by default, so we don't need that false at the end of the formula. If I wanted to use my table of European cities, their countries and their populations to find the most populous city in Romania, with VLOOKUP I would have to rearrange the table to have the country list in the first column. But with XLOOKUP I don't need to do that. The formula I would use is equals XLOOKUP, open brackets, open speech marks, Romania, close speech marks, comma, B6 colon B15, comma, A6 colon A15, close bracket. Without changing the table, I can also find the population of Romania. The formula is equals XLOOKUP, open brackets, open speech marks, Romania, close speech marks, comma, B6 colon B15, comma, D6 colon D15, close brackets. Romania has by far the smallest population of the countries in this list, even though the population of Bucharest is one of the 10 highest of European cities. With XLOOKUP, I can use the one table to find the capital city for any given country, to get the population for that city or for that country, and to find the country that a city is in. I don't have to change the table for any of those searches. With VLOOKUP, I would have to rearrange the table for each search to make sure that the item I was searching for is in the first column. XLOOKUP is available for Office 365, and you may have a subscription through your employer or personally. If you don't have access to Office 365, then you're stuck with VLOOKUP for the present. VLOOKUP looks vertically in columns, while HLOOKUP looks horizontally in rows, but works in the same way. The new XLOOKUP function replaces both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. This is a good time to introduce two other functions that are new to Excel in Office 365, but are not in older versions of Excel. They are the sort and filter functions. As we saw in a previous lesson, there are various ways to sort a table of data. We can define the data as a table in Microsoft Excel by pressing Ctrl+T within the data, and that allows us to sort by any of the columns. We can also use the sort feature on the toolbar in the home menu. The new sort function in Office 365 allows us to build formulae which incorporate data sorting. The structure of the function is straightforward. It asks for the array of data to sort, which in this instance would be A6 to D15. Then it asks for the number of the column we wish to sort by. If we want to sort by country population, I would input 4 as it's the fourth column. Then it wants a sort order, with 1 meaning ascending and -1 meaning descending. So to sort the data by country population in descending order, the formula would be equals sort, open brackets, A6 colon D15, comma, 4, comma, -1, close bracket. That is pretty straightforward. When you're trying the sort function out, you might also like to look at the new sort by function, which allows you to sort one table or array of data into the order that another array is sorted by. Secondly, we come to the filter function, which allows us to filter an array of data by the criteria that we select. Let's say we wanted to filter cities whose population is greater than 5 million. The formula is equals filter, open brackets, and then I'm going to press the FX button here on the formula bar so that we can step through the function. First, we set the array, which is A6 to D15. Then in the include box, we set the criteria for city populations above 5 million. So that would be C6 colon C15 greater than symbol 5 million. Press OK, and it gives us the 4 cities whose population is greater than 5 million. Obviously, we could use the filter feature in the home menu, but the filter functions allow formulae to be built that select data using a filter. If you have Office 365, I suggest you start practicing with XLOOKUP. It really is much easier to use than VLOOKUP. And check out the new sort, sort by and filter functions too. End of Lesson 8.